What's going on, people? Famous Sam here from TiC Network.com, and congratulations, you guys are leveled up to 70. This is the Double XP podcast. Now, we got some really crazy topics to talk about tonight. Stuff has been going down in these gaming and social media streets. We definitely want to talk about it, give our insights on it. I'm sure Floor Hugger will call me old or somebody throughout the show. Demi will be disrespectful. Dallas going to be cool, of course. Meat gonna sit on the sideline, and the guests gonna wonder what the hell he got himself into. But let's get going with the introduction. Let's start with the half man, half god himself. Demi God, what up, bro?
What's going on, people? What's going on? I've been an agent this week. I've been playing Kingdom Hearts, and I've been doing a lot of other things. Let's talk about it. Get into it.
Halo to the king. What's going on, Meat?
What's up, everybody? It's been a great week for gaming, and yeah, let's get into these topics.
Thugger in this motherfucker. What up, Hugger?
What up, y'all? Remember, whatever we talk about, it's just opinions. If you all feel some type of way, don't be no butthurt about anything. Just open your mind up. We're here to have a good conversation.
Preach.
Dallas, what's going on, bro?
Man, it's good. Every time feels like it's been a long time. It's good to say it's good to see y'all, even though I can't see y'all.
I'm telling you, at some point or another, we going full cam on this show. It's happening. But before we get to our guest, Dallas, really quick, you did start your YouTube channel. I've been begging you since I've known you to start your channel. Personally, I think it's dope as hell. I think the way you go about your commentary is hella cool. Your editing's super nice. Really quick, if you can tell the people what your channel is about so far.
It's about the culture, really. Anything I feel like I'm interested in. I don't really go for the drama. I talk my shit on Twitter. If I feel like I need to make a video about something, I will. But I just like talking about whatever I'm feeling. Like lately, it's been a bunch of demos, so I've been dropping videos about that. I have a little show I've been calling Games for the Kickback. It's just a 1.5 to 2 minute video about just some little tabletop stuff that you can play with your homies that don't really play games. And my next few videos, other than Games for the Kickback, it's pretty much just gonna be some stuff y'all didn't see coming. Just some fun stuff to talk nonsense about.
Super dope. If you guys wanna really rock with my man Dallas, show him some love. Of course, follow him on Twitter. You guys see it on the screen. But in the description, if you're watching on the TiC channel, will be uploaded here in a few moments. But if you're watching on my channel, if you go in the description, it is there along with everyone else's channel. Make sure you guys check out my boy. Show him some love. Subscribe and go in the comment section and say #blame it on fame. Last but not least, we do have a guest with us tonight. We got my man Billy in the building. If you can, please, sir, let people know who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Yo, so what's up, people? It's Billy. I'm known as It's Son of Azard on Xbox, PlayStation, and Twitter. And yeah, just been enjoying games, man. This is a good season for gaming going right now, and just been playing some of that Crackdown, some of that Far Cry, just getting into it, man. So good to be here, man. Looking forward to this combo.
Hella dope. Now, we'll be updating the description with my man's Billy information. Make sure you guys check him out. And then last but not least, we do not have Crunk Girl tonight. She is not feeling well. Stomach hurting. She got a boo-boo. She's not really feeling well. So shout out to Crunk. I hope you feel better. And sad to say, RIP to your porcelain throne. Now, let's get started. Let's hit it right to the topic. Let's start with Anthem, right? Anthem reviews are out on OpenCritic. There's some out on Metacritic. And I've seen it range from anywhere from 62 to 70. Now, personally, I'm not one of people to where I believe that reviews will waiver my purchase. I already got the game paid for, about physically. I'm going to pick it up tomorrow night. I'm excited to play it. I have EA access. I've been enjoying the game. But a lot of people are really digging and diving into Anthem and whether or not it's actually a good game and this is real BioWare and if it really sucks or not. So I want to get the panel's opinion on, number one, if you played Anthem. Number two, what do you think about it? And number three, will it get better if you think it's really that bad?
Well.
Oh, that was a bad start. You see, you know it's going to go down.
You know, gameplay wise and everything, I enjoy Anthem, but I haven't played enough of it to be like, is it a grind? Is it all this? I like Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is a grind, and Destiny 2 had the end game content Forsaken to make me come back, and I think Anthem will do that for me. I like looter shooters. I'm gonna play it. I think what most people are having trouble with is they're like, this is what Mass Effect died for. This is the game. And they propped Anthem up way too much. Anthem will never live up to their expectations, no matter what Anthem does. Anthem could have been the greatest game, but just because it's not, they think this is what Mass Effect died for, that it's not going to live up to their expectations. Or it's another looter shooter, and they don't like looter shooters, and they're never going to like it. For me, fundamentally, it's a good game. I think we talked about that on the last episode. It's a good game. It plays. It's Taser Delight. It may be broken and unfinished, but you didn't play Mass Effect Andromeda on the first day. Trust me, that's broken and unfinished. Even Mass Effect Andromeda today is still broken and finished. I think I don't know. I just don't understand why people are so butthurt right now. It's like we haven't even seen enough to get butthurt about.
People get mad about stuff not being exactly what they imagine without thinking about whether or not it's actually good. I don't know. As far as my experience goes with Anthem, is just the demo. That's all I touched. Yeah, and I see where they're going. It's not there yet. It's not perfect, but it's a looter shooter. It's always online. It's like, what do you expect? At some point, it may be what they envision, but obviously not before it even releases. Like, what do you expect just now? So far though, it's fun, and I can kind of see the direction it's moving in, and I hope that it ends up being what we think is going to be. BioWare seems to not have an issue addressing the problems that people have with it, and they seem to be kind of quick on the draw with trying to fix those. So I don't see why I wouldn't give them a chance and see how dope it ends up being.
Mm-hmm. And I think Fame gave a great. I saw him tweet it out or retweet it. Somebody was talking about games. You gotta admit that a game is good or bad, or objectively it's mediocre. Who are you to say if a game is good or bad? It may be bad for you, or but it's good for somebody else. Like, I think Fallout 76 is hot garbage, but Meek likes it. Who am I to say that it's a bad game? Exactly. I don't care.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
that was my
enjoy
issue with
your
the
game.
whole Ryan McCaffrey tweet about Crackdown. Like, I get you have an opinion that you think it's mediocre, but you can't tell someone who thinks a game is good. You can't tell them they can't think that. That's crazy.
Exactly. I mean, that's when it comes down to it, I think that's the main point that people need to remember. It's like everyone has an opinion. Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone has a viewpoint. They play something, they experience it, they either like it, they dislike it. Just because, you know, I could play Anthem and say I don't like it, but you guys play it and say you like it, you enjoy it, you're looking forward to it. It doesn't mean that the game is good or bad. My opinion does not shape the reality of the game, kind of thing.
Instead, I won't sit here and lie and say there's no such thing as a bad game.
Oh, of course.
Okay
I think
bad games.
Exactly. I think objectively, there are attributes that you can put towards a game that, okay, this is good, this is bad. That you can attribute like good or bad things to a game, and they can objectively make a game bad or good, right? Like, let's say, for example, if the frame rate in a game is really poor, then obviously you're not going to have a great experience playing it. But if the frame rate in the game is good, then obviously it'll feel smooth. Then you're looking at other things. Is the story okay? Are the actual gameplay mechanics okay? And then it kind of builds on from there. Like, there are objective elements of games. And I think that's what I mean, I tweeted about it I think yesterday or the day before, can't remember. I said, you know, like, every game deserves a chance to be great. Like, no matter what it takes, every game, every franchise deserves a chance to kind of be, you know, have a shot at being, you know, well made or kind of well realized. And if we kind of have the knee-jerk reaction, which is what's been happening with Anthem, of like, oh, because it's EA this, or because, you know, it runs like this, that, or because of the strongholds. I mean, I agree there are many things that need to be worked on in the game, but to have a kind of knee-jerk, oh, this is trash reaction, I think that's unhealthy. Personally, because it's EA this for games and kind of the growth of games.
Okay.
See, we live in a generation of gamers where there's two ways to rate a game. It's either it's trash or it's a masterpiece. That's literally it. There's no in between. There's no more constructive criticism. It's either the game is trash, skip it, or the game's a masterpiece. You have to have it. There's no like, okay, the game is good, could use work. And most people have a completely black or white point of view on games nowadays, and I think a lot of that hurts the game because they're seeing more of that, trash or people feeling the need to defend the game versus giving it constructive criticism. The way I feel about Anthem is, I kind of said this before launch, is this is BioWare's first intro to looter shooters, and as I said before, looter shooters, in my opinion, are some of the hardest games, if not the hardest games to make, because there's so many different aspects you have to focus on. Like, you have to have the appeal of the game, to keep players wanting to play your game, first of all. And then you have to have the end game, which is going to keep, your hardcore fans, constantly coming back to the game to want to play more. So, the weapon balancing, loot tables, the RNG aspects, that stuff requires just so much time to put effort into. And I wasn't going to hold like Anthem to like, okay, I expect, absolute perfection. I knew that they were going to stumble a little bit out of the gate, but as long as they stick with it and listen to what the majority of the community is saying, like not just like, oh, just fix this without any like explanation why, if the community actually pitches in to give constructive criticism. And if you look at the BioWare Twitter team, they're very passionate about the game. They want to make it as best as they possibly can. I mean, I can't find any BioWare developers on Twitter that are not like open with the community, trying to make things as best as they possibly can. So they're very passionate about Anthem. So I mean, I get where people are coming from, but a lot of people are just saying it because either that they'll jump on like the EA hate, like the hate train, which a lot of people do. They do the same thing for Call of Duty and stuff like that. But I think a lot of people, they're very passionate about the game. I don't know. I wish people would give more constructive criticism and not just, oh, it's EA, screw it, but then go play Apex. Like, I don't understand that.
So I was saying that though. Like, you can't give Destiny a pass and then want to shit on it. Like, give them their minute, give them their moment to get their life together. If they do, cool. If they don't, fine, it's trash. But give them a minute to get it together.
Well, look at the first Division. When that came out, people didn't like it. But now the first Division most people that still play it love it. I love it. Division 2 is looking the same way, but it's the community and people learning.
Yeah, it's 100%. Division 1 is not the same game that it launched as, which I'm not saying that, that's really an excuse for it, but it shows that, games do change over time, and games, especially looter shooters, usually get better over time, especially if the developers are, they're focused. I mean, if you look at Division 2, at least from, we got to play from the beta, that beta, it pretty much improved on every single thing the Division 1 did, just out of the beta. Like, the gunplay feels better. The Dark Zone, personally, I feel like is much better. I have a few issues with it. But, it just shows that, like, if the developers truly care about their game, they're going to stick with it. And I think the community needs to, offer their feedback as well to, help them make the game better, instead of just saying, oh, the game's trash, moving on.
I will say some of the things I've heard have been consistent about Anthem, as far as a lot of the missions seems to be, hey, go stand here and get this signal, or hey, go gather these materials, or hey, you have to go in free roam and do 50 melee kills to advance in the story. It seems kind of, some of the stuff does seem kind of like, yeah, y'all just giving us busy work.
Yeah. I was talking with a couple of buddies of mine that when we were playing the trials, and I feel like these main missions feel like side missions in any other type of RPG game. Mm-hmm. Like, go here, protect this guy. Honestly, all the missions kind of feel like just tedious work, and then all of a sudden you're met with this quest. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, where basically you have to play a certain amount of free roam missions, contract missions, strongholds, and it's kind of weird how the game just kind of halts what you were doing before and then makes you start grinding some of the events.
Sounds like they're trying to pad you out a lot more than normally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, honestly, I feel like the strongholds are the best part about Anthem. I love the strongholds and the fighting those big bosses at the end. I love that. If they could have more of that mission structure, then I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me what you said, Meekins, about Assassin's Creed Odyssey, like in terms of like it's very Skyrim-esque in the kind of fetch questy, like go here, do this, go there, do that kind of thing. It literally just reminded me of the point that you're making about Odyssey, and this is crazy because Assassin's Creed Odyssey got a lot of praise. I mean, it was nominated for Game of the Year last year. So like, I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, and you said it feels very kind of like you said, Skyrim-esque. So it's like, I don't know, like it's like this is what I'm saying. Each franchise, I think we should kind of compartmentalize it, and like you say, recognize and remember that this is BioWare's first looter shooter. They are going to stumble. They are going to make mistakes. But instead of saying, "Oh my God, BioWare, you're trash," or "Oh my God, this is such a rubbish game, just going to give up on it," like get behind the developers and give them the feedback that helps them make better decisions. Otherwise, the game won't mature. Like it will be dead in the water, and then that has adverse effects on BioWare, has adverse effects on EA's future with BioWare. You know, it just becomes a mess. Then I think
I really do think they're going to add a lot of content. I think the DLC is going to be free, if I'm not mistaken. I still feel the main appeal for this game is still there for the most part. The game looks beautiful. I mean, I'm playing on the Xbox One X. I'm sure it looks better on PC. If anybody will jump in, it look better on my PC. I get it, and it probably does. I still feel like freaking Iron Man as I'm flying throughout the world. I think they're like the closest to we ever get from an Iron Man type game. I do got faith. I got the game. I don't have the Legion of Dawn disc. I think it's stupid to pay $20 for skins. But I got the game day one, and I'm going to play it. I'm having fun with it. It might not be for everyone. But I do think over time, if this game does get supported, I think it really will be a really good game. I don't think the reviews don't sway my opinion whatsoever. Anybody else got this game pre-ordered besides me?
Me.
Yeah. The Dawn edition, ready for day one, man. I'm ready.
See,
I'm on the fence.
You on the fence?
Yeah, I'm
on the fence.
As much fun as I had with it when I was on the demo, I'm not picking it up day one. Unless I end up with some homies playing like on PlayStation, maybe I will. That'll be the thing that took the scale for me. But in the meantime, I'll just wait on it.
I will say that whatever they do, they better move quickly because the Division is right on their ass, and you don't want to lose half your player base to the Division because the Division is looking spectacular right now.
From what I played of the beta from the Division, it has potential, but let's not get too hyped or carried away. It still minimizes itself in a lot of areas that it still feels like nothing really has changed. Outside of that multiplayer and matchmaking, I don't see the Division really holding this candle that people are like so in tune about holding this looter shooter candle either.
Man, watch out for me. Me gonna get on your ass. He loves Division.
I'm sorry. Tell Demi I muted him. What did he say?
Hey, my bad.
But between that, I think doesn't Rage 2 come out like right after? You know, Rage isn't a looter shooter. It's just another game that can take away from Anthem. I think whatever they do, they better do it quick because you got some other games that are. And for all we know, the other games may suck, right? This year hasn't been, as far as review scores go, as hot as we all thought it would be so far.
That's true.
I will say one thing that I've noticed a lot of people saying, like, one, I personally think I have no interest, especially when I'm kind of surprised about BioWare, is I literally have no interest in that story whatsoever. I couldn't press B fast enough to get out of that and back into my suit.
Yeah,
I could not.
Now the hub world is dope. When you're in third person, I can rock with that. But when you have to be in Fort Tarsus in first person, it's terrible.
Oh my god!
God, yes.
Talk to me
I
through
don't
the
understand that.
radio. Important key moments. Have me come back, but at least let me stay in my suit, bro. Like, stop making me get out of suit, come back. Just to hear a guy talk about his day, like, I don't care about that, man. Tell me that over the radio.
Do you know about the wind that's in the air?
I think that all falls on taste because I'm a lore nerd. Like I'll let all that
so
be.
many interruptions.
I'll ignore it just to
in the action. Like, how do I go from blowing stuff up and just wrecking stuff, getting loot, and all of a sudden, hey, so how's it going, Kevin? Like, I don't care.
Do you know about this dandelion that blows in the wind? Step out your suit so I can show you.
Yeah.
Let me say one thing.
Go ahead.
Let me say one thing real quick. So, a lot of people say that like almost all looter shooters don't have stories. There's one looter shooter that has literally done excellent stories and looter shooter in game, everything perfectly, and that's Borderlands.
Dude, I love Borderlands. Oh my god.
Factual facts.
I mean,
I can't think of one thing that Borderlands did wrong.
The pre-sequel was trash.
As far as being a looter shooter, like I really can't.
Fantastic game.
They had memorable characters, in-game stuff to do, endless amounts of loot.
The pre-sequel was trash, though, bro. You gotta admit.
But to be fair, Borderlands without the more Diablo-esque stuff, as Anthem and Destiny are more so games as a service and technicality. So that's why you see a major difference. I'm saying they're more appealing to multiplayer as to Borderlands. You can do a single or multiplayer run and still be satisfied.
Well, Anthem doesn't have a multiplayer though.
At least not yet.
Yo, really fast. Shout out to the chat, man. Y'all been acting. I appreciate y'all. Don't call me Danny, Nate, Jay, Taser Delight, Chief, Jay. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with us once again. Whatever channel you guys are watching it on, we appreciate y'all. Before we move on, any more thoughts about Anthem? Anybody want to say their piece or RIP to Anthem before we move on?
I think you guys just gotta embrace things. Like,
yeah. I
whether
just
you like
wish it
it,
all the best.
Yeah, you don't like it. Cool. Everybody's looking for their Mass Effect 2 or their Witcher 3. They're white whales in every single game they play. That's not always going to be the case.
Yeah. Y'all just need to learn how to let people enjoy shit. If you like it, cool. You don't, cool.
That's why I don't, like, if you guys follow me on Twitter, and the TiC team can attest to this, I don't get into no Twitter arguments with nobody, because I'm like, you know what? What I like, you're not going to like. What you like, I may not like. I'm just here. Maybe I'm in that point in my life where I just don't give a crap about people trying to get angry about anything. And I'm just like, just have fun. Life is too short. Have some fun.
Big facts.
Preach.
Now, from one game to another, let's talk about Crackdown 3. It seems as if, in my opinion, a lot of people jumped on the hate wagon just because it was popular. I'm not saying the game doesn't have its gripes or its issues, but I think it seemed like some people making 17,000 videos like the whole Soulja Boy thing, but kind of honing in on the hate for views, for attention. Because I've seen a lot of people who actually played the game aren't saying it's a masterpiece, aren't saying it should be 90 rated, but they're definitely saying it's not a 59, that it doesn't deserve the hate that it's getting. But I'm going to get the panel's thoughts on Crackdown 3. Have you guys played it? And do you think it was worthy of the 59 it received on Metacritic?
No.
Yeah, what can I say? It's the Goldie 2019.
Look, I'm going to say this. Is honestly some of the worst multiplayer design I've ever seen in my entire life. I will say that honestly. That is terrible. Any lock-on aim and stuff like that, it's so bad. And the way they implemented the cloud or the structure or whatever is not good either. Me and Demi to a match. It was the technical test, but it's the same thing. It was literally just a piece of the game. So apparently, this game was originally designed to be a multiplayer only game. And so, how do you release with like 2, maybe 3 maps and like probably even less modes? And the way it works is so bad. Like the whole lock-on thing. I mean, it's not even lock-on. It's damn near aimbot.
It follows you so much.
That should be a no multiplayer game ever.
It's not. It's not fun at all. But as far as I'm just speaking on the campaign. I did beat Crackdown a couple days ago. My review. It's not. It's definitely not trash. I would say it's definitely. I'm actually playing it right now. It's definitely not trash at all. But what it does, it does things that we like in video games at a very basic level. Like running around, blowing things up, and doing things with our friends, taking over strongholds. It does that, but it does it at a very basic level that we've been doing for generations. So that's the fun part, and personally, I really like collecting the orbs. I think the problem is that when it came out, when it came out, the first one came out in like what 2007,
2007, and then like 2011 for the second one.
Yeah, like when it did it then, it was like, oh wow, this is amazing. Like a game where you could just turn off your brain and do whatever. But this is 2019. You know, I'm not even gonna pretend to say I was a big Crackdown fan. I was disappointed. I'm not really a Crackdown fan, but I am an open world, you know, just blow things up for no real reason type of guy. I'm disappointed because I can see where they could have really had potential to make this game into like another big Microsoft franchise. You know what I'm saying? Like they could have really went out. They could have put a lot of the multiplayer resources into this game and made it something special for the game.
Yeah, I mean that probably sums Crackdown up, because I finished it the other day as well. I finished the story, the campaign. There's a lot to love. That's for sure. But the quote unquote wasted potential is what hurts the most about Crackdown 2, because you see it, like you play it, you feel it, you see it. You're like, they could have done so much more here. Like they could have improved certain areas. They could have doubled down on certain areas, but you know they missed a few beats, and I think, again, coming back to the whole criticism behind it, the criticism in some places is well founded. You know, there's a lot of annoyance that certain people have that, you know, it's not what it was. It was shaped out to be, you know, when it was originally revealed or announced, and everything subsequently since. But I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting one, because I think me and Mika were talking about this the other day. Like, we were just having a general discussion, and it was on the whole topic of you know, it being within the Game Pass. I can't remember if I was talking to Mika, so if I just saw a discussion about this, it's like, even though some people might view it as a mediocre game, I think the fact that it is within the Game Pass, that just changes the dynamic a little bit of it. And I don't know. I mean, I'd like to hear you guys' opinions on that, but it's just one of those things. I think it's like a lot of missed potential, but that means that there's a lot of room for growth in a potential Crackdown 4 or a reboot or whatever they choose to do. And it's one of those cases where I understand the criticisms, but I don't want them to go off on the franchise. I want them to double down on the areas that they could have worked on for Crackdown 3, and being too hard on the franchise, I think there's always the risk that running the risk that will kind of work its way up to, you know, the corporate heads and stuff, and they'll just be like, okay, no.
I think my biggest gripe, honestly, is that if you compare Crackdown to what we saw in 20... when was it? Y'all remember that technical demo they showed where literally every bullet meant something in the multiplayer?
Yeah.
It's not that game. Now the campaign, is, and I know people don't like this excuse, right? They don't. It's Crackdown, right? But it's Crackdown, right? It's a Crackdown game. If you're a fan of the Crackdown series, you will be a fan of Crackdown 3. But where I think where people most disappointment comes from is the multiplayer, because it isn't the technical showcase that it was said it was to be. In my opinion, I think that hurt it more than anything.
Oh yeah. I saw like a GIF or something like that where the guy had some type of gun, and he literally shot out like a square and like fell out of the wall. Just like, it didn't destroy the wall; it just shot like the square that he shot out. It was like perfect. And I was like, dude, like that's like groundbreaking structure right there.
My man, Don't Call Me Daniel chat says, would any of you pay $6 for Crackdown 3? Hell no.
No.
Hell
what did he
no.
say?
Absolutely.
Would you pay $60 for Crackdown 3?
I'm gonna be honest. At the way the game launched and what they gave us, the game should have at least been 25 to 30 minimum.
It should have been that State of Decay 2 pricing.
You say K2?
State of Decay 2 pricing. Wasn't it like 30 or 40 when it dropped? I think it was 30.
Yeah,
I say 40 was a little bit too steep for that.
Now there's an interesting point to be made there, right? Because like I'd agree. I would have paid $60 or £55 or whatever it is for Crackdown 3, not by a long shot. But you have the option to get it on Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like you have to drop that amount of money to play the game. You can get Game Pass for a month. They even did the promotion recently, like 2 months for $2 or something like that. So like you can get Game Pass even if you only get it temporarily and play the game, see what it's like, experience it. If you like it, you know, even then you don't need to drop that $60 on it. I mean, that's what I was saying. It's like the dialogue, I think, has become quite interesting now, because I think all of us are pretty much in agreement that $60 definitely not for Crackdown 3, but it's great that you don't need to spend $60 on it, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that brings you to a point. I'm seeing a lot of people asking, and this is not what one of the viewers said specifically. It's people are saying that because basically, if you're not paying $60 for Crackdown, then it must mean it's a terrible game. So I don't really understand that logic, because there's games that are on Game Pass that I would have paid $60 for. You know, why pay that price when Game Pass offers you a service for a flat fee, gives you access to a bunch of games? It's like basically anybody who says that and has like the Origins Premiere or the Netflix or anything like that, they're hypocrites. I truthfully don't understand that logic of, like, I can understand if you're not a Game Pass type of guy asking, you know, would you pay $60 for it? Because I agree, it's not a $60 game. It really should not be a $60 game. But I don't really see the criticism as like, oh well, if you won't buy it in full price, then you know it must be a game. It's not true.
Yeah, because that same argument and logic could be applied to a lot of people.
Yeah, but the same people are saying this are playing Anthem right now on Origin Premiere. I don't understand. Like what?
Yeah. That logic is very flawed.
It is. It's like the new narrative in the gaming community. Now all of a sudden the Game Pass is a measure of the quality of games on it. Like some of I'm pretty sure some of the games on Game Pass have won, you know, are critically acclaimed games by, you know, critics and, you know, gaming, you know, gamers in general. So.
Yep.
Yo, I want to give a shout out to whoever came through with their 7 accounts to hit that dislike button. I appreciate you.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
I appreciate you, no doubt. I appreciate the love. Thank you for hating the podcast. We still love you though.
I gotta say that logic, the Game Pass, it must be on Game Pass because it's not good and stuff. That's like, I equate it to digital laws, and you know, when you see content creators being sued and the courts not knowing how to deal with it, it's the logic is they haven't caught up with the times. A lot of people don't know how to use Game Pass, don't know about Game Pass or Origin or all these other services, so they think this way. So for me, it's like I don't blame them because they probably don't know or aren't caught up with it or don't want to know. Same way as law enforcement today doesn't know how to deal with online harassment and all this stuff. So I'm like, I can't fault people.
I thought you were going to say black people.
No, I was just saying, it's like it's
real political in this piece.
Nah.
That's a whole nother podcast.
That's different.
But it's like it's a whole new frontier, right? Because I mean, think of it, it's like you know, Blockbuster to like Netflix, right?
Rest I mean,
people. I mean, the thing is, Blockbuster had its day, and many people still miss Blockbuster, right? But it didn't like the. I don't know. It's like you have like services and approaches to things. It grows over time. I mean, when the Xbox One was originally announced, right? I mean, this is kind of a little bit of a segue, but when it was originally announced, like they were going for the whole DRM, you know, pushing everything towards digital, and I think. In spite of the response they got to that, I think now they're still kind of realizing that vision. I think Game Pass is a part of that, in that, you know, like instead of, you know, locking yourself into a $60 purchase to play a game or however many dollars it is, you know, if it's on Game Pass, get the subscription, even if it is for a month, try the game out. If you like it, you can support the developers with it, you know, and it's and the more people kind of on the service, it means it's just going to get better for gamers in general, like not just Xbox gamers. I mean, imagine, I mean, it's a tall order, but imagine Sony having a similar service for their games cross generations on the next PlayStation, for example. I mean, it can be quite good, but I think like someone was saying earlier, like the idea that because it's on Game Pass, it's bad. That's just such a flawed logic.
Now let me ask you guys this. I know I've seen a lot of people. I don't know if it's quote unquote pre-damage control, trying to prepare themselves to say, "Ha ha, I was right." But a lot of people are saying that Crackdown 3 will be the last of the bad Xbox games. Y'all agree with that? I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of people running with that. Like y'all setting yourself up to look good later on.
The loss of the Matric era.
I think a lot of people are saying that because it's the last game that was under the Matric plan or whatever it was.
But Phil been here too, bro. He part of the problem. And I like Phil Spencer, but it ain't like he's brand new to Xbox. He was in on some of them decisions.
No. You got to remember though, they set like a set plan of games to come out. Then that was under the Matric time that were going to come out regardless. So they're saying that the Crackdown is going to be the last one. The Crackdown is the last one in that lineup. So after this, it's pretty much all the new shit that we're not expecting. Minus the gears and stuff like that.
So pretty much they're going to be out of the excuses.
I mean, pretty much, yeah. I mean,
because
it could be
Ninja Theory. I think a lot of pressure's on Ninja Theory. I really do, and Playground. I think it's a lot of pressure on them because they have to have really good games. They don't have a choice.
Yeah,
they do not have a choice.
When you make a good game, people expect good games, and people see Hellblade as groundbreaking. It's gonna be hard to follow that.
People are going to look at it like if Ninja Theory goes from making Hellblade, which personally Hellblade is one of my favorite games as Gen.
It was my game of the year when it dropped.
And then also complete dud. People are going to have all eyes on Microsoft.
If all of a sudden they have a online only multiplayer game, I think but I don't think that. Well, I do think that Microsoft was honest and Ninja Theory was honest when they said they can make whatever they want to make. But I do think the pressure is on them and Playgrounds to really drop an amazing game because we need Microsoft to be a juggernaut next gen, right? Like we don't need them to sell away. Like we need them to be a juggernaut. But I think part of that as well. I think next gen people will be looking at Microsoft as a Activision with a dedicated box. Looked at as a Ubisoft for a dedicated box. Microsoft's trying to be a third-party publisher, seem like.
They're going the Sega route slowly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear that. Because if you think about it, I mean, like Microsoft, they seem like they're in a situation now where even though they've acquired, or let's say Xbox Game Studios, they've acquired like Ninja Theory, Obsidian, so on and so on, right? Like I still feel like they won't limit those studios just releasing games on Xbox. I mean, a few games are going to be like Xbox exclusives and Windows 10, for example, but I still think like those studios aren't going to be tied in just like, because the thing is, it's like, Microsoft has realized, especially if you consider the games that have launched on like Steam, like the Xbox, once upon a time Xbox exclusive games that launched on Steam, like they're still published by Microsoft Studios or now Xbox Game Studios. So they're kind of flexing their software muscles, I guess.
Sorry, my bad.
Dear Lord, that was terrifying.
I got me shook there,
my bad. Something funny came across my timeline. My fault. It came across my computer. I apologize.
Just shut up,
I forgot to mute stuff. I apologize. But shout out to the chat. My man, Don't Call Me Danny said he want Heavenly Sword back. That was a
who doesn't
Sony
want
owns
Heavenly
that
Sword
IP,
back?
don't they?
Yeah.
Sony does Sony own that IP?
Yep.
That ain't coming back. That's a wrap.
Yeah, I mean, they could definitely get somebody to do it.
But ain't people been asking for SOCOM?
Nah, it ain't.
Oh
it ain't
my
Ninja
God,
Theory, but
yes.
they could get Sony Santa Monica to do that. Honestly,
That
if
would
they
be
really
a
wanted
studio
to.
to do it.
I will say before we move on, I'm gonna say this really quick. I don't care. I did. If I know the rumors probably wasn't true. I know it has the community an uproar, but I would not have cared if Scalebound came out on the Switch because I would have bought it because I was truly excited for that game. F you to the person who made that rumor up and hurt my soul.
Rumor like that?
Huh?
That rumor already debunked or something like that?
Yeah, the dude who wrote it said he was just playing.
Yeah. My thing was, people that are forgetting, if that game, I mean, I was excited for Scale, but I ain't gonna lie, but that game looked rough as far as like performance wise. So how do people think that game would have ran on the Switch?
You know what's crazy? The lead producer who's no longer at Platinum, he came out and said that game is the reason why he had to step away from gaming because it was just that game was in development hell, bro. Like to hear all the people was actually going through the stress they was going through, like had to step away from game development because of that game. It sucks because I was looking, regardless of the frame issues, the concept looked dope, and I was ready to ride dragons, bro.
It looked dope, but I'm glad they canceled it. Otherwise, we would have got another Duke Nukem, and I'm not for that.
I'm still hurt that they canceled it because I actually want to play that.
Soul.
Yeah,
it would have been so. It would basically been Devil May Cry with dragons.
Your friends can have that dragon. Come on, that's too good.
Don't take
the multiplayer out.
Dope idea.
To take the multiplayer out in the game still would have been fire.
Real.
Yeah,
and then coming out on Switch,
it would have ran like trash.
Even if it was on PlayStation, it would have. People say it would have ran like trash, but I can almost guarantee if somebody was to pick that game up, it would be a very different game from what it.
The problem is, regardless of them, I guess abandoning the trademark, Microsoft still owns the IP, so that game ain't going nowhere.
I hope they bring it back in some capacity, though, because that's a dope idea.
Development from scratch, it'd be different from what we think.
Taking a step back, Crackdown is okay. It's okay.
Okay, yeah.
It's a hard.
That's the way you could describe it. Okay.
It's not great. It's not bad either. It's a game that's is stuck in the past of itself.
Yeah, it's a shadow. It's a shadow. It's stuck in its shadow.
Yeah, if they really took the time to fine tune what Crackdown was, like if they had a skill tree, like an RPG skill tree for your character, and really showed the development. Yes, Crackdown shows the development of your character, but I feel like him just generally transforming wasn't enough this time. Like if they show like the true character development and what you're going through, that would have been great.
Yeah.
I think this is.
He would have played Crackdown, legit played Crackdown, and didn't have fun with it. If you didn't play as Terry Crews,
yeah, I can't trust him.
I was
about to say that if it wasn't for Terry Crews, this game would be DOA in my opinion. Terry Crews alone was the marketing for this game, and it worked.
Yeah, I don't understand why any other character is in the game outside of Terry Crews.
Yeah,
I didn't even look at.
I didn't like that, but it ain't no lie.
Get go. Yeah, Terry Crews.
If you
let me tell you one thing, you don't actually see the progression in your character. I mean, you see it, but I had a buddy of mine who just started out like a couple of days ago, and my agent, who's level 5 and pretty much everything but the driving thing, you stand next to a level 1.
They scanny as hell.
It is literally hilarious to see the difference between a level 1 agent and a level 5 agent.
Right.
The only other agent I would have played with was because I think he's cool was Bartram, Doc Cupcake. But other than that, it's all.
I literally just found his agent DNA.
To me, it's all about Terry Crews. I think the marketing alone, him alone was the marketing for this game, and he put this game on his back. He really did.
Yeah, he's been selling the promo. Really
honestly, he's a high energy person, so I think it's just a shame that the game didn't live up to the expectations that a lot of people have.
My man Tiger in the chat said
games that have this style where it's just like he could have been a damn Lawbreakers character. Realistically, that was another type of game that he could have been done well in.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
my man Tiger King in the chat said, I think Floor Hugger will be a great agent at Crackdown. I don't think so, because instead of killing bad guys, she'd be walking around drinking, trying to find polygon titties to play with the whole time. She'd be a terrible agent. She wouldn't do no work.
Polygon titties.
She wouldn't be working. She'd be looking for video game titties the whole time.
Yep. I
As you
mean,
should.
can you blame me?
No.
As you should.
But Taser Delight brings up a great point. Crackdown can't just be Crackdown going forward. If they're going to go forward, it's got to be something new.
I think this is it.
Something new but old.
They said they wanted to be along the lines of Halo, Gears, or Forza. I think this is it. I think this was the last one. They can't invest in the game again.
They can't.
I don't think they can continue from Crackdown 3, but they can show you some of the idea. Maybe a new IP. But I think I mean the gameplay, what there was in the game was fun enough. I'm sure Meekins, you can vouch for that as well. I mean, we had a lot of fun in the game, but I'd like to see like some element of the kind of fun that was had in this in another IP. I'm sure it's possible. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Max. So hopefully, touch wood.
If they do,
I don't doubt it's fun.
I hope they do.
They can't.
Hold on. I think we can cross lines because Meek and Dallas started talking at the same time and they couldn't hear each other talking. No, y'all couldn't hear each other. Something weird going on right now. Y'all couldn't even hear each other. But what were you saying, Dallas?
I mean, I don't doubt it's fun. It's just I'm just looking at it. I get it. I understand. If I had Game Pass, I'd be playing it too. I mean, it's probably nothing constructive that's gonna come out of my mouth about it. I mean, I got a PlayStation shirt on, so you can't if the point is all gen, I've been looking for the game that would make me buy Xbox. Like I've been really wanting that. Scalebound would have been there for me, but Crackdown 3 absolutely would not have been. Like I can get Saints Row on PlayStation, so I'm not really tripping on it. I don't doubt it's fun.
Hey, hold on. Before you move on, really fast, I want to address something in the chat. Hey, Chief, the podcast is on two different channels at the same time. So if you actually look on the screen, you will see a chat, and everyone can talk with each other, no matter where you're watching it. And soon we'll be doing this on Periscope as well. So no matter where you're watching the podcast, everyone's comments will be on screen, so you can communicate no matter where you are. Kind of like Microsoft, right? We'll play anywhere with this podcast, right? So you playing on Fame channel or TiC channel, y'all can all play together on screen. So if you look on screen, you'll be able to communicate with everybody on the screen. I just want to give a quick heads up about that. Sorry,
Meek, I think we're getting feedback from you again.
Oh, my bad.
Hey, so really quick, I want to move on to our last topic. So, Mike Ibarra has been getting some heat from reviewers on social media because of a comment he made about reviewers being whiny and not.
Still there?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay.
Meek's getting feedback.
So
again.
he's on a bit of a heat, and a lot of reviewers are taking offense, saying that he's telling people to really talk to streamers and YouTubers for reviews more than I guess critics, or a lot of people who are editors or reviewers are upset right now because he came down on this particular reviewer who talked about Anthem. And pretty much I think this has been a theme lately of reviewers not fully diving into a game or really trying a game before they complain about it. Like, oh, I can't do a combo, when it's really simple and easy to do a combo. Or, hey, I can't press A and dash over in Cuphead when it's really simple to do that. Or, hey, the Resident Evil, if you play as Claire, there's no difference. It's like, bro, like, did you really do it? I think a lot of reviewers are coming up or looking kind of sketchy. I think Mike is just pointing it out. But I want to get y'all's thoughts. Does Mike deserve the heat he's getting right now? Does this Xbox executive, was he correct at these whiny reviewers?
I think Taser Delight just made a good point. Mike just needs to not speak. He's a man in the position. He's above all this. He's making his paper no matter what. For me, we talked about this before we even got on the show. You can tell the difference between writers who are reviewers and reviewers who are writers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. For me,
he
just ignore people.
Say nothing. Did he lie?
He didn't lie, but he's making his paper.
Right. So
he didn't lie, but he shouldn't be invested in what's going on like that though. Especially if it's
you can't be a fan too.
I'm not saying that, but
we're not saying that.
If you're doing this more for a game that isn't on your caliber or that like isn't through your company, should it really offend you like that? Because it looks kind of backwards to be doing this for Anthem, but he wasn't doing this for Crackdown.
Yeah,
it brings out because people they search for the weaknesses of these guys. If they can make him hurt about this thing, they're gonna start attacking him about little things, and they're just gonna try to rile him up. For me, I just would have stayed quiet, and it's been like, you guys can't get to me.
I ain't gonna lie, I am looking forward to the day that Phil Spencer loses it and just goes off on Twitter.
Oh my god, yes.
I hope it's a Kanye level meltdown.
One of these days he's just gonna straight up lose it.
I don't know. I feel like you can't bring up everything out the woodworks. Like, did I lie about what I just said? No? Okay, then.
Yeah, but you're above that. You hold yourself above that. You hold yourself, especially when you're...
He's the president of, like, technology and on Team Xbox. Like, he's in charge of, he like you said, he's making his paper either way. Like whether Anthem does well, whether it doesn't do well, whatever happens, he's making his cheddar.
From a gamer's perspective, from a gamer's perspective, I can see where he's coming from. This is what I'm saying. It's like two sides of the coin. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. From the professional point of view, should he have said it? No. Like and it's kind of like the equivalent of like here's the problem though. I think a lot of people focus too much on his position, and I'm not saying right or wrong, right? I think a lot of people focus too much on his position. When you really think about it, no one ever tells him to stay in his lane when it comes to any other gaming tweets he talks about, right? Any other thing that has to do with anything that's not regarding to Xbox or Microsoft that he comments on. No one else says, well, you're this and Microsoft, so stick to your lane. But the moment they say something that he says something people don't agree with, oh, now it's stay in your lane. It's kind of how I feel about the whole thing with LeBron James. Oh, shut up and dribble. Like, no, bro, like this might be my profession, but I can speak out on this too, bro, because at the end of the day, some of these reviews, and don't get me wrong, I'm not throwing pot shots to nobody, right? I work for a media outlet company. I get people work their asses off, right? But at some point, we got to sit back and think a lot of these reviewers are full of crap. A lot of these people probably couldn't get a job at the Huffington Post, so they got one at IGN. Let's just keep it funky, right? They went to college as a writer and fell into this job.
To me.
I really don't see the problem in what he said. I mean, I know he has a position to play, but at the end of the day, he's still a gamer.
Yeah,
exactly. As long as there's not a conflict of interest,
a gamer, but where was this same energy from when it was Crackdown, dog? That's all.
It's right here. It's where, like, as long as there's, but with Crackdown, there's a conflict of interest. As long as there is not one, let me say what I gotta say.
I don't know, Dallas. I kind of would give you, for instance, a lot of people try to get on Aaron, and I love Aaron Greenberg. He's a really cool guy. A lot of people get on him because they say he's always hyping Xbox. Well, isn't he like the marketing manager of Xbox? He's supposed to hype Xbox. That's literally his job, is to hype Xbox. People get mad when he hypes Xbox.
Right. Yeah, Aaron. Yeah, that's funny. I mean, it's this is the thing. Like, if you on Mike Ybarra's recent tweets, he even kind of mentioned, someone asked him like, I want to play Apex with you or something, like, or where can I play Apex with you? And he said, I game on PC mostly. And bear in mind, this is the dude that does like the technology for Xbox. He's in charge of, managing the infrastructure for Xbox, yet he plays on Windows mostly. So like, he's not like, I don't think we can look at Mike Ybarra, like from gamers' perspective, we can't look at Mike Ybarra as, oh, just because he does this for Xbox, everything he does, everything he says must be kind of Xbox centric. I do understand where Demi's coming from though, about where was the energy with Crackdown. It doesn't, I mean, people are going to ask that question, and it's natural. I mean, even Demi brought that up, and even I was like, oh, snap. Like, where was that energy? Where was that energy with Crackdown? But it's one of those things. I guess he's really enjoying Anthem, and he doesn't like, and maybe he felt some kind of way that the game's getting slated by someone who, in his mind, didn't take the time to understand the systems in the game. And I think every gamer has been in that position where it's like, oh, dude, you don't even understand how the game works, and you're smack talking it, like it's one of those kind of common annoyances that gamers in general kind of have. And what was it? Meekins was saying, yeah, he's a vice president or whatever you want to call it, but he is a gamer at the end of the day. All gamers have opinions.
I think one of my quick last points is to the reviewers who are upset. Your job, and you get paid to critique and talk about games. You can't get mad when your work gets critiqued. Let's just keep it $1.50. You can't be a reviewer and a critiquer and then get upset when you yourself are being critiqued about your work. You can't.
I think people are still a little distrustful of reviewers on these big sites, especially after Philip Mewson and his Dead Cells review there. So people are looking at reviewers a little bit more cautiously, and even the guys that have a good track record are getting questioned, and it's just throwing things into chaos right now. So everything is under a spotlight, and reviewers especially are under a spotlight.
Yo, Chief, not Trump, bro. Chill, bro. Absolutely chill. But like I said, I get both, and a lot of things, right? I do my best to try to understand all aspects and all sides. I just think that all these reviewers, all of a sudden, he shouldn't be allowed to critique our craft. We work really hard on what we do. Yeah, so do the people who make these games. And y'all don't feel bad about critiquing them, whether justly or unjustly. So don't be mad when your job is critiqued. That's all I'm saying.
They spend 20 hours playing the game, and these people spend years of their lives making the game. You got to have some empathy for that. And a reviewer that doesn't have empathy, doesn't have empathy, no matter how good or objectively bad you feel the game is, you have to have a little empathy. People look at Red Dead Redemption, 100+ hours, and Rockstar has a tradition that if you leave the game the company during development, they will remove your name off of the game. They have history of that. They will do it until the end of time. So you got to think about the thousands of contractors, the thousands of people that probably left during the game that aren't credited. And Red Dead Redemption 2 did well, but you got to feel for the people who were, let's go, most example I like to go back on, Mass Effect Andromeda. People spent years working on that, and it got ripped apart. It's like, yeah, the game was objectively not great.
I think people wanted it. Honestly, go ahead, write me off, Chief. I'm out.
Yeah, people objectively didn't like it, but you got to have some empathy for
I still
people.
need to finish that game too.
No, it's just. I think it's like. I made a point like some time ago in one of the Facebook groups. I mean, gaming Facebook groups about. There's this thing now where like everyone thinks they can be a reviewer now, kind of thing. Like everyone who has an opinion thinks they can review a game and kind of smack talk it or talk down or something and whatnot. But like the point that was made a little bit earlier, just that empathy. I think common empathy. Games are difficult, very very difficult to make. I should know that. I learned that firsthand. But it's just have a baseline of empathy, and then on top of that you can give your feedback and criticisms and say the game was okay in this area, they could have worked on this, that and the other, and kind of I think like Megan said, just be constructive about it rather than just shitting all over a game just for the sake of it.
And on that note, we're gonna wrap it up. First off, I want to say shout out to the chat, man. Y'all were like hella active tonight. A lot of y'all in here, from Chiefs to Taser, Tiger to Jay. My man Sin was in the building, man. You guys really showed out tonight. We appreciate it. Just
thank you, guys.
Really quick, Nate, definitely, man. Really quick for those, I know Chief said he was a little bit confused, right? Who y'all talking to? Like I said, if you guys, no matter where you're watching this, if you just look on the actual screen, look at the overlay. I have a box that's called "Let Your Voice Be Heard." So you can literally look and interact with anyone, whether they're on Fame channel, TiC channel, Periscope, what we're going to be doing. I'm doing it. I'm actually going to spread this thing across a lot of different platforms at one time. So everyone, no matter where you are, you guys can talk on your social media platform of your choice. Like I said, we 2XP play anywhere at this some I ain't gonna cuss. I can't cuss. But we're gonna wrap up, get these outros going. My brother, half man, half God.
Thanks for coming through, everybody. Hope you had an enjoyable show and enjoyed the podcast. Thanks for coming through.
And our guest for the night, my man Billy.
I appreciate you guys coming through, man. Yeah, man, it's been a blast, man. Appreciate you guys having me on. Enjoyed it, and hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Listening.
One more time, where can they find you, brother?
You can find me as It's Son of Azard on Twitter, as It's Son of Azard on PlayStation and on Xbox as well.
Guys, so definitely make sure you guys follow this man. This is our first interactive with him. Really cool guy. We're definitely gonna give you a follow, my guy. The newest man on these YouTube streets, Dallas.
Man, what's up? We appreciate y'all coming through once again. The chat's been live. We'll see y'all next time. That's all. I ain't really got a whole lot to say. We just appreciate y'all coming through, and I hope y'all come through some more.
The greatest Lawbreakers player of all time. Me.
Appreciate y'all stopping by. Had a lot of good topics to talk on this. I hope to see y'all next time.
And my favorite Canadian.
Hey guys, thanks for coming by. Make sure to follow everybody. All our socials are on screen. Especially with Anthem and any games are coming out, you can always drop by and play with us. We're excited to see you guys every single episode, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
No matter where you guys are watching, make sure you sub, follow, like, share, comment, subscribe. And when they ask what came after 69, it was 70. Peace.